I was visiting a friend not too long ago, and another friend of his came to visit, and he introduced me as a life coach. And all of a sudden, the guy's face lit up and he was like, "Oh, great, you're a life coach. I need to talk to someone." And, I obliged him. And he said he was having issues with his relationship. And in fact, he was at a point where he was giving up and wanted to get a divorce. And I asked, what the problem was. And he said he can't seem to make his partner happy. Whatever he does is never good enough. So he says, when I work and I make 100%, I make sure that my partner takes 90% of it. I try to provide for my partner. I try to make my partner comfortable. I try to do this, I try to do that, but it's never enough for my partner. So we had that conversation that day, and I wasn't spending so much time, so we didn't, go far with it. So I gave him a session. I booked him for a session. And when we had the session, he went on to still, insist on the fact that he does everything he's supposed to do as a partner. And then he went on to mention how his partner, whenever he's busy trying to get work done, because he believes that when he works is how he can provide and all that, the partner goes like, "You don't spend time with me, you don't give me attention." And that most times his partner is asking for attention at the most awkward times, the times that he needs to get something done and he feels that she should be able to manage on her own. And I smiled because I was beginning to see where the problem was, and seeing that there wasn't really a problem. They just needed to understand themselves a little better. What I want to talk about today is something that is very important in every relationship. And I don't know what better time to discuss it, but now being the Valentine's season. So when we come back, we're going to talk about love languages and how they affect relationships, or what role they play in relationships. We're going to look at the benefits of love languages in a relationship. If you've never heard about it, buckle up, because today you're going to understand what love languages are and probably figure out what must have been going wrong in your relationship. Hi, and you're welcome to another episode of the 100% Joy series. When we come back, we'll be talking about love languages. Don't go away, I'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, click the red button and turn on your notifications, so whenever another episode comes up, you'll be the first to know. Great, that done, let's get back to the conversation of the day. So my producer was just reminding me about a guy who was asked what was his love language on the internet, and he said English and Yoruba, more of Yoruba, and everybody found it very funny. So yes, we have love languages. Love languages are the way we give or express or even receive love in relationships. It's our way of communicating in relationships when it comes to our emotions. It's the way we communicate our emotions, communicate our feelings to each other, and receive those feelings back. They are believed to be 5 major love languages. So we have words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, acts of service, and receiving gifts. With words of affirmation, some people feel loved in a relationship when you use words to express your love to them. You praise them, you compliment them, you shower them with loving words and affirmations. While others will feel loved when you spend quality time with them. You spend time alone with them, you take time off work to be with them, you take time to plan a holiday, that you just spend time with them. For them, that is love. That is a way of expressing your love. That will make them feel loved. For them, that is something that makes them feel loved. There are other people in relationships that for them is act of service. You help with the laundry, you help with the dishes, you help to take care of the kids while they're tired, you help to go run errands. For them, that is you expressing that you love them. Now, we also have people that for them, their love language is physical touch. It means that they like it when you hold their hands when you're working, put your hand on their shoulders, hold them close, hug them, cuddle them. Physical touch doesn't really mean sexual touch. You know, some people just want to know that you're close. From time to time, your bodies touch, your hands touch, you hold their hands, you hug them. But there are other people who, for them, physical touch as a love language is sex. That's how they know that you love them. But most times, physical touch means that the person just wants to feel that you're close physically. You know, holding hands, hugging, cuddling, you know, stuff like that. There are people who, for them, their love language is receiving gifts. So when you send them meaningful gifts, it doesn't mean it has to be overtly expensive. But just the thought behind the gift, that you sent them a gift that is meaningful to them, it's a big deal. That is their own love language. When you do that, for them, you're expressing that you love them. They feel loved. Now, a lot of you might not even know that you have love languages or what the love language of your partner is. Just like the guy I told you I had a session with in the first segment, I came to, you know, realize or make him realize that his problem was he didn't understand his partner's love language. You know, he was there thinking, oh, I give her everything she wants. I buy her gifts. I make her comfortable. I provide for her. But his partner just wants quality time. For her, that's what makes her feel loved. She wants him to be able to spend time with her. For people whose love language is quality time, they want your undivided attention. They want you to be able to spend time with them. And they value it when you take time off something else to be able to spend time with them. And they want you to be undivided. They don't want you to be with them and then you're on your laptop or you're on the phone or something. For them, that is their love language. Most times in relationships, we notice that people begin to question their feelings towards each other because they probably do not understand each other's love languages and expect the other person to feel loved the way they feel loved. What am I trying to say? So, say my love language is act of service, and my partner's love language is quality time. Now, because I go out of my way to run errands for him, because that is my love language, I expect that is his love language. So when I go and run errands for him, when I help with stuff he needs to do and all that, I feel that he should know that I love him. But you see, that will not translate to love for him, because for him, love is me spending time, quality time with him. And then I'm here always saying, oh, I'm busy, I can't, spend time, but I want to show him I love him by the things I do for him through acts of service, because that's my own love language. We're going to have a problem somewhere. Now, if he feels that spending time with me is his own act of service, so he decides to stay home with me the whole Saturday, but he doesn't help me out with any chore or anything I need to get done, I won't feel loved. But for him, because quality time is his love language, he's going to feel that he is expressing how he feels about me, which is why you see a lot of times partners or couples go like, I don't think he loves me. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. Why? Because he's not doing the things that are your own love language. Now, how do you know what your love language is? For those of you who do not know what your love language is, because I think this is something you should know, it's Valentine. And most of you have partners that you want to be able to do something special for. And a lot of times during Valentine, all we want to do is get a big cake, get a big teddy bear, get chocolates, buy a gift for our loved ones, whether partners or friends or family. But I think this Valentine is a time for you to take it a step further to understand what will really translate as love to this person that I want to show love this Valentine. Would it be me booking a weekend for two? Or would it be me buying a present, a meaningful gift? Or would it be me just doing something special for this person? So how do you know your love language? Although there are a lot of quizzes you can take online, but these are simple questions that will at least make you know this is your love language. So if you answer these questions, when you look at your answers, you can tell what your love language is. Most times you might have more than one love language. So in a relationship, do you feel more loved when your partner tells you I love you, uses words of affirmation to talk to you, calls you sweet names, and always compliments you? Is that when you feel loved? Or are you someone who feels loved in a relationship when your partner books a weekend for two, just the two of you to get away? Or are you the type of person who feels loved when your partner holds your hands when you're working? Or better still, are you the kind of person who feels loved when your partner gives you gifts and surprises you with gifts? When you answer those questions, you'll figure out what your love language is, because once you hear any of the questions, whatever your love language is, it will resonate with you or appeal to you in that minute. And then you know that, okay, this is my love language. And then it will be nice for you to ask your partner the same question, so you get to know what your partner's love language is. When you are able to figure out each other's love languages, it helps you relate better and build meaningful connections in your relationships. And better still, it helps you to know what precisely you should be doing for your partner this Valentine. So when we come back, let's look at why it is important to know your partner's love language. What are the benefits of love languages in relationships? Don't go away, I'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. We're talking about love languages. Now, we have looked at the different types of love languages, and we have established the fact that it is a very fundamental part of any relationship, whether it is between couples, it is between a mother and a child, a father and a child, siblings, co-workers. It's important to understand the love language. Friends, it's important to understand the love language of the people that you relate with, because it helps you to build better relationships. And we have also established that people have different love languages. Their primary love languages are always different. And it's because we do not know that this is what creates a lot of misunderstanding, especially in relationships. Because one person is feeling unappreciated because he feels that he's doing so much, making so much effort to love this person, and that other person doesn't even feel loved at all. Why? Because you're speaking two different love languages. So being able to understand each other's love language, one of the things it does is that it helps you to step outside yourself, to be able to appreciate what another person appreciates. You learn to love them their own way, and they learn to love you your own way. And at the end of the day, it helps you guys to grow a healthier relationship with stronger bonds. So what are the benefits of understanding each other's love languages? One of the things it does is that it makes you selfless. When you move out of your comfort zone of being about your own love language and make the effort to understand the love language of your partner, what happens is you begin to learn to love your partner the way your partner understands love. And then your partner learns to do the same thing for you. It makes you guys selfless. It means that you're not thinking about yourself alone. You're not thinking about what works for you, but you're trying to think about what works for the other person. And in so doing, you begin to understand yourself a little more. Now, another thing it does is that it promotes empathy. Empathy is being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, to understand what the person is going through, to be able to see life from the person's point of view. And that is one thing that understanding the love language of the next person does for you. It helps you to see life from that person's point of view. So it's not just about you anymore. It's also about that person. You begin to understand how the person feels, what the person is about, and how the person expresses his or herself. This is one of the things that helps you to even develop a higher emotional quotient, being able to understand the emotions of the next person and manage those emotions and build better relationships with those people. Now, another thing it does is that it helps partners to maintain intimacy, or if they're not romantic partners, helps you to be closer friends or associates or family. Because the fact that you're able to talk about your love languages, understand your love languages, know how to express your love to the next person in a way that that person will understand it, and the person also knows how to express love to you in a way you understand it, it brings you closer. It makes your bond closer, it brings you closer, it creates a form of intimacy that is unbreakable. Now finally, understanding your partner's love language helps you to share love in a meaningful way. And you know, when there's meaning in your relationship, that relationship is bound to last because there's meaning in it. You see, that's the difference between doing things blindly and doing them intentionally. It means that the love you're expressing is not wasting because your partner understands it, because you're speaking your partner's language. It also helps you to grow. It encourages growth. Remember that when you go out of your comfort zone to begin to learn about another person, to begin to learn how to relate with somebody from that person's point of view, and that person begins to learn how to relate with you from your own point of view, it means that both of you have left your comfort zone to be able to put yourself in each other's shoes. What it does is that it encourages growth. And you know, growth is born when you get out of your comfort zone. So now it doesn't only make your relationship with your partner better, it makes your relationship with other people better. So now you begin to relate with people from a different perspective. It's no more about how you expect things to be done. It's now, how can I relate to this person that this person will understand me? How does this person see life? what will make meaning to the next person. So it's not about, oh, I did this and the person didn't appreciate it, or I did that and the person didn't appreciate it. For example, my son's love language, the primary love language is words of affirmation. And then I know that he loves receiving meaningful gifts, those two things. So I know that when you do either of the two, you have him in your corner. But you see, for me, it's the flip side. But it took me a while to understand that, because when I get in the kitchen, make a meal, or, do some act of service, I expect him to appreciate it. But you see, that's not his love language, so he's not going to appreciate what I'm doing, But when I praise him, maybe he gets something right in school, or he does something in the house and I praise him, oh my God, you just opened the door for him to do more. So you have to understand that it's important to understand what makes people tick. So this Valentine, make it a point of duty, whoever your Valentine is, your mom, your boss, your sister, your father, your friend, your partner, your husband, your wife, whoever your Valentine is, because I don't believe Valentine is just for married couples or people in relationships. I think it's a time that you show love to everyone and anyone. Try to find out what the love language of the people you have decided to show love this season is, so that you can express love to them the way it will be meaningful to them. They will understand it, appreciate it, and you will also feel good about it. Because that's one thing about getting it right. When you get it right with people, you can feel it because you see how they feel about it. You can feel the energy of how grateful, appreciative, or happy they are. It also makes you feel good. Am I right or am I right? It makes you feel good. So, what are the odds? Isn't it better for you to know what the love language of the next person is, so that you're expressing yourself to the person the right way? A lot of friendships have ended because people have different love languages and they've misunderstood each other over time. You might have a friend, a close friend, whose love language is you spending time with her, just sitting down and listening to her talk, and all that. But you don't have that time. And for you, love language is probably sending her a message and giving her words of affirmation, or just, buying her a gift or something, or an act of service, So that way, your friend still does not feel loved, and you feel taken advantage of, because you feel like you're doing your best and this friend does not appreciate it. And because you don't understand each other's love languages, sometimes these relationships just go down the drain. So I'm thinking that this love season, this is a time to salvage an amazing relationship that's probably going down the drain because we do not understand each other's love languages. So take some time, go online. You can do a more extensive quiz to find out what your love language is, and ask your partner. Take the exercise or the quiz with your partner, your siblings, or your parents, or your co-workers, and find out what their love languages are, and show love in a meaningful way this Valentine. That's all from me today. Have an amazing Valentine, and bye-bye.